Awesome. What can I help you with?
Just got a question on Facebook campaigns releasing content over the last 12 months or so. I've had about 4,500. Facebook are telling me that I have 4,500 interactions, liked my page, watched 3 seconds of a video, all of that, about 4,500 people in that list. My plan is to market content or release content to those 4,500 and a lookalike list in my local area to concentrate and I guess bounce off their already they've already interacted with me in some form, so remarket to them. On a tight budget, would you just keep marketing to those, or would you go out to the broader market as well?
Yeah, good question. I would probably filter that 4,500 down to a smaller group. So instead of looking at who watched 3 seconds, I'd go who watched 10 or 25%. And I would, and that might drag you right down from 4,500 to 1,000. I don't know what that number would be, but you know, I think the 3 second video view is a bit of a trap because people can do that by accident. 10 seconds, they're probably not going to, right? Or 25% of your video. So I would go to that group, and that's where I would invest. Then I would do a lookalike against the smaller group to get a tighter picture and then market to those people. The strategy is just as much what you're going to say though as who you're going to say it to. So I would get my 4,500 down a little bit and then do a lookalike against them. That would be my strategy for reach. But what are you going to say to them? What, for the sake of the audience, why don't you say what industry you're in?
Yeah, so I'm in financial advice. So my target market is business owners. So I have 12 scripts. Half of them I've recorded. I've got another 6 to go. Just money basics for business owners. So what's super, what's insurance, what's debt,
so
how all of those topics relate to business.
Here's how I may challenge that a little bit, right? Because that stuff that you've just listed is really valuable and really good information. But I feel like, you know, we might be getting to the point on Facebook where it needs to have, you know, shock factor or you know, something pretty extreme, esoteric to be able to have cut through. So I would be interested. Now, I don't know the legalities of this and I probably wouldn't care until after the fact anyway, but I would be inclined to say, you know, the Royal Commission have ripped you off, right? Or you know, the major banks have lied for so long and you lost. And then I'd go on to give my 2 cents on what the Royal Commission means. And you could go on to say, you know, the positive spin on it, but I kind of want to shock people into paying attention to what you say. So, you know, to do that, we should throw somebody under the bus, right? Because then, and as long as that's honest and legit and real that somebody has been doing the wrong thing, I think it's okay to call it. And by calling it, we're probably going to get the attention of the people. So, you know, it might just be that your Facebook post reads, "Attention small business owners, you work too hard, you know, to throw it all down the toilet thanks to the major banks," and then go on to say whatever. To me, the creative is as important as the reach of who you're going to go to. So I just don't want you to go, yep, I'm going to go to this audience with my normal message. I think you've got to step it up a real notch here to have cut through. You know, there's a guy called Harry Dent. I don't know the guy. In fact, I'll probably never watch a video or read any books of his because all he is the doomsday talker, right? Doomsday, like to the T. Like, no matter what's going on in the world, he'll find a way of saying it's all going to collapse and you need to buy my books to fix it. Now, I'm only using him as an example. He's not right, but because he's pushing against the goads, you know, observe the masses and do the opposite, right? So he's been able to afford himself a niche in that space because he was different. Now, I'm not suggesting his strategy was right, or his topics were right, but his strategy was pretty good. So I think you just want to be thinking through, what can I say that's true but shocking? Can I uncover some truth, right? You know, whatever. Because there's so much fear going on around financial planning and the Royal Commission and the Hane inquiry and all that stuff that somebody needs to go and tell the truth. Somebody needs to be able to speak to small business owners and say, forget everything you've read in the Australian. Here's what really happens, right? And then I think that's going to have some cut through.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't think, and then...
Obviously doing it in a legal way.
Yes, and so all those other things you talked about, debt management, investing, that's what I would remarket to the audience that engage with my high-level content.
Yeah, okay.
So I'd push out this high-level content, get that to go slightly viral because it's valuable, and then whoever engaged with that, I'll be going, here's a piece on debt, come back to my website to look at some debt advice. Here's a piece on whatever, superannuation changes, come back to my website, look at superannuation changes, right? Because you keep driving them back, at some point they're going to call you.